Buried inside Trump's great big beautiful bill is a brand new tax for you sending money to your family and friends abroad. Here's what you're not hearing. Trump's big beautiful bill gives a 1% tax on all remittances abroad. So every time you send a Western Union, a MoneyGram, whatever it is, a remittance abroad, the U.S. government's now going to take a 1% cut of that. They're already taxing you on your paycheck, and now they're going to doubly tax you for sending money home to help mom, dad, grandma, your kids. The 1%'s going to add
Hi,
up.
lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome to Building the Verse. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
Brad doesn't seem to listen when we tell him. Yes, we understand jobs. See, I've always had jobs, sometimes 3 at once. But now I have a business. Now I volunteer sideline. And if I need a job, I also have a class 2. And my friends that voted liberal as well are teachers, oil field workers, nurses. A few of them own businesses in our small town. A lot of them have jobs. So I'm sorry if you're under the assumption that those who, number one, vote liberal, and 2, those who are against the convoy don't have jobs. I do believe it was my best friend's husband, who owns an oil company, who came in the house and I said, hey, what do you think of these truckers going to Ottawa? And he looked at me and said, those fuckers need to get off their ass and get back to work like the rest of us.
If you send money back home or run a business that helps others do it, Congress just voted to take a piece. Good day from the Virgin Islands. I'm Brian Loudon, and this is a VI update. Buried in the sweeping One Big Beautiful Bill passed by the U.S. House this month is a new 1% federal fee on all electronic money transfers sent abroad. That means anytime you send money outside the United States, the feds take a slice right off the top. This applies to wire transfers, Western Union, digital wallets like PayPal, you name it. And while the U.S. Virgin Islands is not considered abroad under the bill for receiving, the moment you send money from here to another country like Haiti, the Philippines, or the Dominican Republic, that 1% kicks in. For many in the U.S. and USVI workforce who send a portion of their every paycheck home, this isn't just policy, it's personal, and it is another hit to their American dream. If you're sending money to family abroad and the bill passes, talk to your transfer service. Make sure you understand how the fee is being applied. They did leave a loophole, checks and cash are safe, but that's a dangerous loophole to use. There's no clear data on how much money is remitted internationally from the Virgin Islands. But with hundreds of non-U.S. citizens living and working here, the number of people impacted could be significant, able to offer a little less support to the family they see as less fortunate than themselves. And for businesses that process these remittances, new paperwork, new compliance rules, and possibly higher fees passed on to you, if they continue to offer service. When new regulations pop up, territories lose service providers unwilling to make the expensive change to service more complex legalities. How many of you send your money to support families abroad, or even just to wire a little for a birthday or holiday? Drop a comment if this new fee would affect you, or if you've heard about anything else buried deep in this bill. Let's compare notes. I'm Brian Loudon. This is your VI Update, your islands, your news, our reporting.
Banning the international money transfers is a blow to the Africans, because mainly from America, obviously from America, because a lot of people in Africa depend on their families who are in the diaspora. Now, it is widely known that people in the diaspora bring home about $1 billion every single day to Africa, and that is going to hurt. It's going to hurt, but you know what? It's not only that. He wants to tax. When it comes back on, he wants 1% tax of every dollar that you send to people in Africa. He wants a cut of it. He wants, like this guy, he's already so wealthy. Like he is already, like, he's been wealthy. His family have been wealthy for years. But you know that money that somebody working in America in a restaurant or in a cafe, they work so hard just so that they can educate their brothers in Africa or their sisters in Africa, or maybe they can send their mom or their dad a little bit of money. Trump wants a cut of it.
They buried it in the bill quietly, deep in the folds of what is being called Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. But what they didn't say out loud, what they didn't want you to notice, is that this bill includes a new 1% federal tax on every single dollar you send abroad. That is right. If you are sending money to your family in Nigeria, Philippines, Ghana, or anywhere outside the United States, they want a cut. The same government already taxing your paycheck now wants to take a slice of your generosity. For the millions of America working 9 to 5, night shifts, double shifts, gig work, or trade jobs just to make ends meet and still send money home, this hits hard. Because this isn't some luxury tax. This isn't Wall Street or big corporations or hedge funds. This is a tax on a mother sending $300 to pay her son's tuition in Kumasi, a brother wiring $200 to fix his sister's surgery in the Port-au-Prince, a taxi driver in New York sending $150 to his parents in the village, and now the US government works 1% of it every single time. Let's do the math. $500 sent home, that is $5 taken. Do that once a week, $20 gone in a month. Multiply that across a year, $240. That is somebody's rent back home, somebody's food money, school books, hospital bills, clean water. This 1% isn't just a number, it's a subtraction from someone's survival. And they are doing it quietly. No press conference, no public debate, just slip into a massive bill under the radar. Because they know what it means. They know if people understand the weight of this tax, who it affects, how much it costs, how deeply it cuts, the outrage would erupt overnight. This isn't targeting billionaires, it's targeting waiters, cleaners, delivery drivers, the same people who kept America running during COVID, who show up every day, pay their taxes, follow the law, and still manage to send a piece of paycheck across the ocean to family members with less. And make no mistake, the African diaspora will be one of the hardest hits. According to the World Bank, Africans in the diaspora send back over $50 billion every year to the continent. That is more than most foreign aid. It's money that keeps economies alive. It funds schools, builds houses, feeds entire communities. That 1%, that is $500 million stripped away every year. Gone, just like that. This is how wealth is drained, not just from individuals, from nations, because remittance hasn't donation. They are infrastructures. That money funds micro businesses, pays farmers, builds clinics, sends kids to college. That is how families rise from poverty. That is how villages survive drought. And the US government wants to dip their hands into it. This isn't just financial, it's moral. It's ideological. They are taxing sacrifice, they are taxing love, they are taxing people who give not to profit but to protect. And let's be real, it's not just Africans, Filipinos, Haitians, Salvadorans, Indians, Bangladeshis, they all send money home. Millions of Americans with immigrant roots. It's part of our identity, sending what we can, even if it's small, to help someone who has less. And now that act of compassion is being commodified, monetized, taxed. Even the US Virgin Islands, which hasn't considered abroad, are affected. The moment someone sends money from there to the Dominican Republic or Haiti, boom, 1% gone just for pressing send. And here's the kicker. Businesses that process these transfers like Western Union, MoneyGram, PayPal, and Wise, they now face more regulations, more paperwork, more complexity costs. You know what that means? They will rise, they fees too. So it's not just the 1% federal tax, it's the dominion effect. Suddenly, it costs more to help someone. This is how exploitation works in model systems. They don't shut you down directly, they just make it harder and harder to help each other. And what is their justification? Nothing. No public benefits. That 1% isn't being reinvested to help immigrant families. It's not building infrastructure in your community. It's not lowering your taxes or funding your schools. It's going straight into federal revenue, into a bucket you will never see filled. And don't believe for a second that 1% is where it stops. First, it's 1%, then 2%, then 5%. Just like that, one vote at a time. You will blink and realize you are paying 10% just to send your auntie $100 for diabetes meds. You know what this really is? It's a war on working people, a war on immigrants, a war on generosity. It's them telling you, we will take your labor, but not your loyalty. We will welcome your taxes, but punish your heart. They want your effort, but not your empathy. And now they have put a price tag on your kindness. What happens when you stop sending money home? Entire families collapse. And don't think it won't come back around. When people abroad can't afford life, they seek opportunity. The immigrants. And what does that cause? More border control, more political heritage, more fear, more wars. This remittance tax is short-sighted, mean-spirited, and fundamentally anti-immigrants. And you know what is even more painful? The silence. Where is the media coverage? Where is the outrage? Where is the debate on CNN or Fox or Congress? Nowhere. Because the people being hit hardest hasn't reached. They don't have lobbyists. They don't have voices in the room. Just remittance receipts and a fading hope that maybe America still sees them. But we see them. We see the single mother cleaning hotel rooms who sends $150 every 2 weeks to support her mother in Lagos. We see the Uber driver sending $50 to his brother studying medicine in Pakistan. We see the kitchen staff, janitors, landscapers, nannies, every one of them keeping 2 families alive with 1 income. And now they are being told they have to pay a penalty for doing that. It's unacceptable. So what do? We speak up loudly, relentlessly. We make noise, we share the story. We ask remittance companies, are you charging this tax yet? We demand transparency. We reach out to lawmakers, we organize, we educate, because this isn't just about money. It's about justice, about humanity. And the moment we accept being taxed for helping our own, we have accepted too much.
And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. Alright, lovely. See you when I upload the next video.